Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to make a small video about how to progress your soul bloodline or Dharma Path, whatever you want to call it. I'll mainly be talking about the best free-to-play friendly progression because I've seen quite a few players getting confused about this system. First of all, don't worry about choosing the wrong path because at the beginning, everyone follows the exact same route. There isn't a separate path to pick yet, so you can't really make a mistake here. Just keep unlocking the required nodes one by one and avoid wasting your resources on things you don't need. The important choices come later, but for now your goal is simply to progress through the main line and build a strong foundation for your account. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. After you've unlocked a few more nodes, you'll eventually get the option to choose between Crimson Bird and Jade Dragon. Personally, I went with Jade Dragon after resetting my points because I wanted to test it out myself. From what I've experienced so far, it feels pretty good, but that doesn't automatically mean it's the best choice for everyone. If you've already gone with Crimson Bird and it's working well for your build, there's nothing wrong with sticking to it. At the end of the day, both options have their own strengths, and your choice should depend on how you want to build your account rather than just copying someone else. Now, let's talk about how I'd actually spend my points as a free-to-play player. This is probably where I see the biggest mistake. A lot of players start unlocking random side nodes as soon as they become available because they want every little stat they can get. It might look like you're getting stronger, but in reality, you're also slowing down your progress toward the important milestones. Since free-to-play players don't get as many Dharma points as whales or players with Glided Sutra, every single point matters. That's why I think it's much better to plan ahead instead of spending them randomly. What I'd personally recommend is focusing on the main route first. Just keep unlocking the required nodes that lead you directly toward the next talent effect. Those talent effects are what you're aiming for. The side nodes aren't useless by any means, but there's something I'd rather leave for later. Once you've unlocked the important milestones and have more Dharma points available, then you can always come back and fill in the extra stats. The reason I don't recommend rushing the side nodes is because, as a free-to-play player, you'll naturally progress much slower than someone who's spending money. Players with Glided Sutra or whales are getting more resources, so they can afford to unlock almost everything without worrying too much about efficiency. We don't really have that luxury. If we try to copy their progression exactly, we'll just end up delaying our own talent effects for no real reason. That's why I think it's better to play around your own resources instead of trying to match someone who's spending a lot more. Another thing I want to mention is don't feel like you have to reset your Dharma path every time you see someone using a different build. The system is still pretty new, and people are testing different routes every day. Unless you made a really big mistake, I'd just stick with your plan and keep progressing. Constantly resetting and changing your build isn't really going to help if you don't actually know what you're aiming for. For my own account, I'm going to keep following the main route until I unlock the next talent effect, and only after that will I start thinking about the side nodes. I think that's the safest and most efficient approach for free-to-play players. It lets you keep progressing without feeling like you're always running out of Dharma points, and later on you can always come back and finish the rest when you have more resources available. Of course, this is just my opinion based on what I've tested so far. If there are any veteran players or Chinese server players watching this video and you found a better route, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to learn something new, and it'll also help everyone else who's trying to build their account the right way. Once again, like I said earlier, if you're free to play, I'd still recommend going straight down the main path instead of unlocking the side nodes too early. I think it's the best way to make the most out of your Dharma points and reach the important talent effects faster. Of course, that's just my opinion based on how I'm building my own account. That's all for today's video. In the next one, I'll show you where I usually spend my Immortal Jade and what I think gives the best value for free to play. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned.